So what we're talking about is confidence, right? And one of the things that all of us have been going through. What's up, Sahara? How are you doing? All of us have been going through power phase development, right? Like when you're actually developing your power phrase. And I call mine is like I'm that guy, right? And I posted about it today on my Instagram again, inspired to speak about it again. And it's really the what I tell myself when I'm doing a lot of like all in type of Jesus Christ, when I'm doing all in type of things, right? It's really like, well, why am I doing this? Like, why do I wake up at 5:30, go to the gym, have a fucking healing session with a spiritual teacher of mine, then come back, go to work, do this, do that, and then work for another 12 hours? Like, but why do I do that? And it was like, yeah, but I do it because I'm that guy. Just like I'm just confident in myself. But I also do it to prove to myself, like more importantly, like I set myself up for discomfort in order for me to prove to myself who I actually am. And then that's going to rub off on the dance floor as well. So I'm going through these trials and tribulation outside of the dance floor, because then when I'm faced with like, yeah, but who am I nervous in front of? Like, I don't even know these people. I honestly do not care about their opinion. So how do I so how do I get myself to confidence? What we're talking about, body confidence, family, it's a real thing. But is that making sense? Like, it's important to develop that character, but then you might feel like, okay, but how do I, because a lot of us spend a lot of time thinking about why this wouldn't work for me. It's like, yeah, but who am I to think about this? And why, like, I don't deserve this, and etc. etc. So, and that has to do with the imposter syndrome. But like I said in the beginning of this webinar, the imposter syndrome is like everybody feels imposter syndrome when you're transitioning into a new role. I mean, that's what it is. You are an imposter because you are the beginning. When you go from being an amateur to a pro dancer, that transition period, you're a beginner into a new role. You don't really know what you're doing. You're coming into a new role at work. You don't really know what you're doing. And every man is an actor of his own ideal. And that's exactly what you are in that case. But here's the kicker. Sooner or later, you will grow into becoming that person. But more importantly, is that who are you actually scared of? The people who are you scared of? Like the judgment, the low self-confidence. Like, that's something you got to ask yourself frequently. It's like, but who do you care? Like, do you truthfully care about these people's opinion of you? Right? That is an important question to ask yourself. And more important is like, but what credit do they have to their name? Because when you truly become who you are, when you truly feel and like the person you are, then you don't care about what other people think. And that's another way to increase your confidence. Is like you actually share your weaknesses or shadows, as I call them, or as Nietzsche calls them, dark side, as Tim Grover calls them, with the people that you love. My father and my mother, they know fucking everything about me. Like, I'm purposefully not changing the way I'm speaking when I'm talking to you guys because I want to be me. So if my father and my mother knows all the bullshit I'm doing, and my father is usually joining me on that bullshit because I essentially live with him, like, why would I care what another grown-up think about my decisions in life? Like, why would I care? My father knows, my sister knows, my two brothers knows, and my mom knows. So who do I care about? I don't care about much more people than that. Like, truly care about the opinion is David, of course, but it's like, then it's like, that's it. Those are the top 5, right? And at some point when you're on this journey and you're acting, right? Like, you're acting as an ideal until you become that person. Like, at some point you have acted so much as that person that you are becoming that person, and no competent person will ever judge you because they know that everyone has gone through that thing. And that's unfortunately the sad thing with our dance community, is that people fucking forget that they were beginners last year Now they're drawing judgment on other people, which is just so fucking pathetic. Like, it's the ridiculous for me personally. But like, I don't judge them. I accept them for it. Like, I'm in no position to judge nobody, and I don't care. I do not care, because it doesn't bring any value to me, and I cannot control it. Right? Now, is it ridiculous that a grown-up person, after dancing for half a year, now thinks he or she is an advanced dancer and is going to talk down to the other person that just started or is where they started 6 months ago? So of course it's ridiculous. But we all know it's ridiculous. And it's just a proof of their lack of confidence, or a proof of their low self-esteem, and they're mirroring it onto others. But it's just sad. So who do I really care about? It's an important question to ask yourself, right? Like, why am I so scared of being judged by other people? And more importantly is that you're honest with yourself when you're looking yourself in the mirror. Like, I'm not the person that look myself in the mirror and says like, oh my God, I'm so good. Like constantly affirming things that has no sense of like reality, right? Like, I'm seeing myself as the real me. Like, I'm seeing it for, I'm accepting it. I'm accepting all the qualities of me. Like, I'm human. I'm living a full human range of emotions. I get ups, I get downs. Like, I don't like sugarcoat my realities. Like, I am in a certain way, and I accept that about myself. Now, does that mean that I'm not trying to improve it? Absolutely not. But I don't make big obstacles over things that doesn't need to be big. Right? It's like, here we go, I ate cake again. Shouldn't have done that. All right, why did I do it? I did it because this was the trigger. Okay, cool. Let's try to have less of that. And then I look at then I just acknowledge the fact that I failed, or yeah, I fucking failed. Like, I broke my promise to myself on a short-term level, on a short-term, it's not level, it's not the word I'm searching for, but you get the point. On a short-term scale, right? Let's say it like that. But then on the grand scale of things, I'm fucking crushing it. Because I'm comparing myself to the person I was a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago. So I can see that I'm steadily like a projection of like, I'm steadily going upwards with ups and downs, peaks and valleys. And I'm looking at a macro level instead of looking at micro. Like, I'm widening the horizon, right? And that is, again, so important, because that creates confidence, because this is what this talk is about, right? So it's like, who am I today compared to the person I was a couple of weeks ago? And have I improved? And more importantly, in what areas have I improved? And then you might ask yourself, like, shit, it's like, I'm not sure if I have improved, because those ghosts comes into mind. But you don't need to look at like statistics to see, you don't need to rely on like actual like progression. Like, how are you going to progress? How are you going to measure like tangibly if you became a better dancer or not? But what you do instead is that you look at the amount of work that you put in. So in January, I was here. Once in January, I trained with Sebastian. He's a dance specific trainer, and he trained with these and these and these people. So he's a credible guy. And then I've done this and this and this work, and I've done it for such a long time. And then I've also done this mindset work that he put me through, and I've done that, and I've done this, and I have more clarity. And as a result of remembering and taking breaks and looking at the work that you actually done, you then create confidence, because now your instincts will sooner or later start to trust you, because you know that you put in the necessary work, right? And that's the important, that's why it's so important to being like aware of the work that you're putting in, and tracking it, and like doing these things that we tell you to do, right? And to not create monsters and obstacles that are bigger than they need to be, right? Like, look at it and then do something about it, but do something real about it. Don't just like, yeah, but like fucking like Like I talked to, I met the person here in Cabo, like a friend of mine. Hey, they gotta stop with that fucking door. Like I don't know, I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, so I met a friend of mine the other week, and she's like, yeah, but like I think like I'm going through a depression type of thing, and like I'm not feeling well. And if you tell me that you're going through depression, like yeah, I'm gonna take that shit serious, because when I was depressed, there was nothing else I wanted to do than fucking blow my brains out, right? So I'm gonna take that shit serious. They're like, oh shit, like depression? It's like, yeah, okay, well, like tell me, like, well, what's happening? And he's like, no, but whatever was the effect of it, right? I'm not downplaying any person at all. Like I'm not like ridiculing whatever she went through, whatever she's going through, certain thing, right? But then when I ask you, it's like, yeah, but what are you actually doing to get better at it? No, but like I don't do anything. But what are you talking about? It's like maybe depression is the wrong. Maybe depression is not a good. It's not a good example now when I think about it. Let me take a moment to think about this concept. Because the thing with depression is that it's so individual, and you're becoming another person. So it's not fair to. It's not a fair example. Let me give you another one. Yeah, but fuck it, like yeah, a depression or confidence is like you want to be more confident, right? Like that's why we're all here. So it's like, okay, but you want to be more confident, you want to get out of depression. Like, what are you actually doing? Tangible things. What are you actually doing to get out of that state? Okay. You are going to a webinar with a guy that's been through depression and now has come out to the other side of that road, right? Okay, that's the last time I hear that fucking door. I'm gonna lose my shit. I mean, that's a tangible thing. It's like, yeah, but you're actually tangibly doing something real about where you are, and like you do where you want to go. You're doing something real to close that gap. But a lot of people are just like, yeah, but I'm not doing it. Like I'm going through it. It's like, yeah, but what are you doing to get through it? Like, what are you doing to get through that thing? Like, you're not doing that much. It's like you're not doing tangible things that brings you results. And sometimes, like I said, like that's also why I changed the example. Because I'm not sure. I didn't feel like depression is actually something that makes sense in this sense. But you want to boost your confidence. Like, what are you actually doing? Are you analyzing the work that you actually put in? Like, are you creating your cookie jar, for example? Are you analyzing your own highlight reel? Are you doing these like positive affirmation, if that's what you do, right? Like I'm a little bit divided when it comes to positive affirmations, but like, what are you tangibly doing, right? Like there are some traits of mine in my own character that I've been checking lately, and I don't want them anymore, right? Like I wanna leave them. It's like, well, yeah, but what are you actually doing here? Okay, I'm actually reading this book. I'm taking this online course. I've been talking to 2 mentors about it. I've shared it with my mother. Um, uh, I'm doing the work. I spend tons of time in my own mind having conversations with myself with a purpose, not just like fucking existing and philosophizing around nothing. It's like, no, I have a clear end in mind. Like I want to end this train of thought. Like it's a conscious thought process, right? It's not just random consciousness. This is like that's tangible things, and these are things that will boost your confidence. Did that make sense, guys? It's a very important concept. Yeah, certain? Okay, good. Because being confident, it's a decision almost. Like you make that decision with yourself every day, and you don't need a fucking long ass transition period. Because every man is living an act of his own ideals. You will keep it's like, I don't like the word fake it till you make it. Like I don't like that. Or that sentence. Like it's not me. I don't like that at all. I think do it become until you become it is a way better way of approaching it. It's like fake it till you make it. No. I've done shows. I was in Germany. That is is a story I keep telling. I live in Norway at the time. I go to Germany with a contemporary dancer, and we're gonna do a fashion show. I'm modeling hard at that time, and she goes, like, but like, teach me some popping, and we do some popping inside of the show. And I'm like, yeah, like, you want to do popping? Like, do you know how to do popping? Like, it took me a year to know how to do this, like the basic foundation things of popping, like this. It took me a year to learn that. So I'm like, yeah, you know popping? She's like, it's like, I don't know popping, but just fake it till you make it. It's like, no, don't fake it till you make it. Because if you keep faking it, then when you're actually making it, you're not going to be ready. So how about you actually do it until you are becoming it? And there's the same thing here. You don't fake confidence until you are becoming it. You are doing things that will make you confident until you actually, that's your default state. You're doing the necessary work. So you're actually staying sharp, so you don't need to get sharp. Stay sharp so you don't need to get sharp. Why would you need to get sharp? I know, stay ready so you don't need to get ready. It's a much better way of approaching it. You're constantly doing life, constantly doing it, right? So it's like, because there's a difference of like fucking random, like before I jump into it, like I really want to talk. The transition time doesn't need to be that long. You decide. Today is the day when I will do this micro challenge for myself, and that will create confidence. Like, I'm doing all types of random shit daily just to create confidence, to be more confident, to be more secure with myself. Both David and my father left Cabo, so I'm going to be alone in a country where I barely speak the language for 2 months, 2.5 probably. Why? Because I fucking want to. I'm practicing my confidence. Like, I just want to prove to myself that I'm good alone. Like me, this thing, like me, my entire life, like you, if you're a woman, maybe this is not a thing for you, but like for men, this is my entire life. I wore a shirt like this, entire fucking life. Like like we don't have a lot of options, men, right, to how to dress differently. Then I started doing this. But now it's like, I like to have it like this. I think it's cool when I see my tattoo, but it's like, it's a little bit too much, right? So in the beginning, it was more a confidence thing. I just wanted to push my confidence to get outside of my comfort zone, right? Wear a turban at the club the other week. And there's nothing that is comfortable for me doing, but it's just, I'm doing it to practice confidence, literally. I'm practicing confidence in order to get out of my comfort zone, because then when I do things that actually requires confidence, then I've already done the work. And it's not like every situation is going to be an exact mirror of a previous situation, but what you're doing is that you're doing the work before it's go time, right? Like, you're practicing. And that can be just like in another example, like me, when I was dancing, like I'm talking 2018, like I was fucking terrified dancing with artists, like dancing bachata, like I'm fucking terrified. Like, I never did it, because like in that scene, it's very much like all the good dancers, the professional dancers, they stand close to the DJ, and just the energy is really strange. It's really strange energy in that area, like very compared, like show off, right? So me, what I do is that I go to the opposite. I go to like the beginning of the room where all the beginners are, and I dance there for like a good 2 hours before I even like move my way in. And it's a confidence thing. Like, I gotta be there, I gotta warm up, I gotta dance a little bit. Like, shit, I haven't danced such a long time, and then sooner or later, like I move my way closer to there, and then it's like, okay, I have one mission today, and it's a micro challenge that I have with myself. I'm gonna get to there. I'm gonna dance with that person, just one artist today. I'm making things up, right? But you get my point. It's like I'm constantly micro challenging myself, and like I said, everything won't resemble, or every situation won't mirror another one. So it's kind of hard to practice. Okay, but how do I practice confidence with like being going up on stage and performing for like a World Cup type of thing for dancers, right? How do I do that? Like, but there is only one situation where I can do that, and that's in the World Cup because the stakes are so much higher. Yeah, but then you grab the confidence from other areas that resembles the same, right? So it's like I'm very confident that I can get on here and talk to you guys about confidence, and I'm very confident I can do that in live also. Why? Because I've done like fucking trillions of webinars when I'm talking about mindset. So when I am in a situation, I'm pretty confident that I can, in one way or another, answer whatever question is thrown at me, right? Even if it's a new question, pretty confident that I can freestyle dance to any song, any fucking hip hop song that anyone throws at me, because I've done it so many times. I haven't done it to that song particularly, but I've danced so many times to random songs. I'm pretty confident I can do that, right? Because there's a big difference between being confident and being fucking delusional. I'm not confident when I'm surfing. Like, I'm not confident I can take a fucking kiteboard, which is a parachute, and a surfboard, and I can just go out here in the wild and do that now, because I've never done it. So I'm not delusional. But again, I'm very confident I can dance. Does that make sense? So it's like there's a big difference there, and that's what you got to practice. You don't want to be delusional, you want to be confident. And that's big, like, you don't want to random confidence. It's not something to strive for. Like, you want to like, you want to do the necessary work, so you deserve to be confident in the task or the thing that you are like going to perform, right? And that is much the like the I'm that guy mentality. That's what I call it. Like, we develop your power phrase. So one of mine is just I'm that guy. I know Alemana, for example, she had for the longest time she she had what the fuck was it? It was like I'm that bitch. That was her power phrase. Like, that's something she repeats to herself in her mind to when she gets nervous, right? And then you can create different things. Like, Beyonce has like Sasha Fierce, for example. That's her alter ego. That's her power phrase. Nicki Minaj has whatever Roman or whatever, like Barbie, whatever the fuck that alter ego is called. Like, if you watch Gladiator, he takes like the dirt in his hand. That movie Gladiator, he takes dirt in his hand with Russell Crowe, and he like smells it or whatever that routine is, right? Like, it's to Kobe Bryant, that Black Mamba, right? Like, it's putting yourself into that state, and that's so important because that's gonna help you, right? And that brings you the mentality of like, of course I'm going to conquer this task in front of me, because I've done other things in the past that is way tougher than this. And why? Because I'm that guy. Like, we were out partying now on Saturday or on Friday. Me and my cousins, they just came here, and we go to bed like around, I think I get home like 6 or some shit like that, and we're drunk, we're partying. But even then, you see my ass at the gym at 11. Like, sleep 5 hours, get my ass up, gym. Had a great workout. Why? Because I'm that guy. I am that guy. Like, that's what I do. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah, but I slept. You shouldn't train when you slept one day. Shh, be quiet. That's no. Shh. No, shut the fuck up. Yes, you can. Yes, you can go and train one. You don't need to sleep 8 hours fucking every day. I don't party every week. I don't party every day. Don't worry about it. Don't be goofy. Go do your work. It's more important. Just like, oh, but okay, you gotta sleep. I need my 8 hours. It's like, yeah, okay, but then yeah, be that guy then. And then be that guy then, I guess. Like, yeah, and then if I would have slept 8 hours, I would have slept 8 hours, and then I would have done my work fucking anyway. It's not the point. The point is that I'm doing it. And then I call my cousins, and it's like, yeah, they wake up around 3, fucking groggy, like slow motion. It's like, yeah, that's why you have that body and I have this body. That's not to peak on anyone. Like, you have that body because of the life choices you made, and I have this body because of the life choices I made. You have a university degree because of the life choices that you make, and I don't have a university degree because of the life choices I made. That like, there's just factual things. Like, I'm looking at it strictly factual, right? there's like, you have to do these micro challenges to start to to challenge yourself, when you build on top of these small wins, and then you're growing, right? Like, for example, the things with the dance floor. Like, I'm gonna talk to this person, or like, I'm gonna dance with this person today, and then next social dance, I'm gonna dance with this person, and then that person, and then I'm gonna do this one and this one, and then this one, right? That's how you're building confidence through skill acquirement, and like not only skill acquirement, but also like experience, like you're stacking experience on top of each other, or experience acquirement. I don't know if that's a word, but you get my point here. Point being is that you gotta do shit that person that you want to become do, right? Because then when it's time for me, for example, to do a fucking dance show, and or to do a, I don't know, training competition, if I would ever do something like that, and I've only slept 6 hours, you don't want to give a shit, because it's just a random Saturday. It's just a normal Saturday. But it's like, it doesn't hurt you to push you. Like, a lot of people are scared of the feeling of pushing themselves. It's like, no, I can't go to the gym. I can't train today. I only trained. I only slept 6 hours. So like, will you die if you do your workout today? Like, I swear, like, sometimes people write to me, and like what they're saying is like, hey coach, like, I made a decision today, I didn't do my workout. It's like, okay, why? No, but I was out dancing yesterday, and today I have pain in my whatever. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, what? Wait, what? It's like, and that's the reason exactly that now I'm coaching, and I know the psychology behind it. So it's like, I'm not judging anyone, but it's like, but exactly that is the reason that you are where you are, right? Like, you want to know why I don't deserve to be able to do the split, and Sahara can throw her legs in all fucking random directions of the planet? Because she's sitting and taking notes on the floor in fucking split position, and I'm sitting with my crooked back in this chair. You know what I mean? Like, it's just factual. It's like, you deserve that confidence. I don't deserve that confidence. I don't deserve that skill, because I haven't done the necessary work. And that's the beautiful thing with training. That's the beautiful thing of doing the work. And that's, again, why I say consistency is more important than the intensity of the workout. It's much more important. Consistency is the most important thing you can do. Like, is the most important of all of it, of everything. Like, on all of the fucking, like, consistency, duration, frequency, intensity. Like, frequency is essentially consistency, but like, consistency is the one and true only master. You don't become a great dancer, or you don't become confident by doing one big show. You become or one big competition. You become confident by doing it over and over and over and over and over again. And that's how you get better. And then you remember that, you write it down, you take notes of, like, fuck, like, I actually did that shit. I've done that. I've done the necessary work. So you rely on your track record. Like, do you know how many times I've been in fucking uncomfortable situations when I've been out traveling? Like, I lived in 5 different countries. Now 6, I lived in 6, like, I set up shop like in 6 different countries. I traveled to 30 plus. Like, the majority of the countries I didn't speak the language. But I've done it so, like, do you know how many times I ordered pasta? Like, I'm so not uncomfortable ordering food or talking to people, because I've been a tourist so many times. Like I've been laughed at like a ridiculous amount of times just because you say something wrong and then it fucking means can I eat you instead of like can I order pasta? You know what I mean? And then everybody's laughing and they're like question mark, and then they are trying to explain to you because they want to show that they are not like rude, but what you said is fucking hilarious, and then you still don't get it. Like I had it today. I had it today at the gym. I swear, I had it today at the gym. Like a friend of mine, like not a friend, but someone I know. And she comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, blah 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 blah," blah. And she starts to laugh, and I just look at her and I'm like, I I don't understand. And I say this in Creole, it's like, "Nunca entender." And then she explains again, and I'm like, I don't understand you. And she goes a third time, and it's like, yeah, but I still do not understand you. Like I don't know what to do. Like you don't speak, like it's cool. Like you laugh at yourself, and then you just keep on going with your day, right? Why? Because I've been in that situation an uncountable amount of times. And the same thing goes with your dancing. That's why it's so important to social dance, for example, or to do these random competitions, because that's how you grow. You don't do one competition, you do World Cup, and then you wait until next year and then you do World Cup again. It's like, but what, are you crazy? Like you gotta practice. You gotta practice. Like competition is practice. You're practicing competing, you're practicing social dancing, you're practicing approaching a woman, you're practicing asking for her or him or her to dance with you. Yeah, but it's not who I am. But then you gotta act like it, because every man is an actor of his own idea until he or she becomes it. And that's the truth. You don't fake it till you make it, you're doing it until you are becoming it. And then there's other ways, like another tip is just that you look at people that are confident or have the things that you want to, and then you're copying their behavior, and then sooner or later you're going to end up on that route, right? It's like true story. Like one of the reasons, I'm not going to say the main reason because that's not true, but one of the reasons really, like this was a conscious decision of mine. Like I read it in my diary or like in my journal a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, because I have in Sweden. And I looked at people that were entrepreneurs when this is like in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. I looked at like high level entrepreneurs, and I said, the way I see it, there's two types of high achieving entrepreneurs. One that's fat as fuck, one that looks like action man. I rather look like action man. So what does that mean? Okay, so I'm gonna look into their behavior. Okay, cool. So what do they do? Right, everybody wake up fucking early and train the first thing in the morning. Say less. Say less. Got it. Boom. That's what high achieving entrepreneurs that have great bodies do. Perfect. Don't need more than that. Because again, confidence and these types of things, the transition period is like, it doesn't need to be that long. It doesn't need to be that long. It's a decision that you make with yourself every day. So you make that decision. Boom, I'm gonna do this today. And tomorrow at the office, when someone comes to me and they approach me, I'm gonna speak my mind, and then I'm gonna say with fucking confidence. And then it didn't go that well, and it happens to the best of us, and then you do it again tomorrow, or the next person that comes to you. And or maybe for you, it's just like this next dance, I'm gonna look the girl or the man in the eyes when I'm asking him or she to dance with me, and that's progression. But then you do that every time, and then it's gonna be fucking super awkward for you in the beginning because you're so aware of your holding eye contact with that person. So it's just super awkward for you. But nobody else will know because they are busy existing in their own reality. And they don't really give a shit about you because everybody's so busy thinking about themselves. So don't worry about it. And you grow from there, and then you keep growing. And then you're gonna fail. Like you're gonna fail so hard. Yeah, you're gonna fail like fucking ridiculously hard. But then you don't make it bigger than it is. You don't make it bigger than it is. I failed this time, but if I look at the grand scale of things, considering where I were in the beginning of this year, comes to like now, and where I want to go, and like how I've actually progressed from here, I can see clearly like this is just a small scale. If I zoom in on this individual thing, I can see like, yeah, it's a clear down here, but it's because I'm comparing to fucking yesterday. But if I look at it on a wider horizon, I can see like 4 months ago compared to where I am today, it's a hell of a lot difference. And the most important thing is that I progressed, right? And that's the most important, that you are progressing, because that's the only thing we care about. Yeah. And we're gonna start to wrap it up here also, guys, but like, and like, you need to know that you are confident because you know your abilities. Like, you got to do the necessary work, so you deserve to be confident in the task you're trying to conquer, right? Like, you don't want to be total delusional, but at the same time, you just want to be like, yeah, but I'm that guy. Like, I'm confident that I'll be able to conquer this task in front of me because look what I've done in the past, and I'm that guy, right? So like I can come up with so many examples, but it's like, yeah, but I've done shows, true story. Like, I've done dance shows, freestyling, never heard a song, 80,000 people, like, it's a huge festival. I never heard the song. I don't know the artist. I don't know where she's gonna come out of. I'm on stage with 3 other guys we never met. We're improvising on stage. It's like, we're all over the place. They're like, so I've done that. So you think I'm scared of fucking doing a video? Like, when I done that shit? And it's like, that doesn't mean that I don't get nervous. It doesn't mean, what I'm saying is that it doesn't mean that I don't hear the doubts and fear of failure in my mind. But I don't need to own it. I don't need to turn it into reality. But I feel fear of failure. I do hear judgmental thoughts about myself in my mind. Oh, what will he think? Oh my God, what if I miss the beat? But I don't need to make that bigger than it is. It was a thought. That's it. Because thoughts are not facts. And that's the thing that most people get fucked up. It's like, we take our negative thoughts as fact sometimes. We just, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, no, it's not factual. It's just a random thought. Much like when you're driving a car, I don't know about you guys, but like, sometimes when I'm driving a car, I get this like, it's a thought. It's almost like an impulse. I don't obviously like attack the impulse, but it's like, you hear it. It's like, crash the car. It's like, you hear stupid shit in your mind all the time. But as soon as there's something that is pointing your insecurities, now you're taking it as facts, right? Confirmation bias. It's like, oh my God, I knew I would fail. Now I hear that thought again. I'm a failure. No. It's just a random fucking thought. You don't need to hold on to it. Just leave it. That makes sense, right? Thoughts are not facts. They are just random thoughts that are based on emotions and fucking biases, and don't worry about it. Oh, guys, it's so hot in Cape Verde right now. No, you don't understand. Yeah, but like, guys, that's essentially what I wanted to run over today. Like, I wanted to talk about this thing. I think it's very important, and like, and when you get this right, and you become like ultra confident, right? Like, I'm very confident in my ability to do different things, right? And I have very high self-belief. Like, I believe in myself so much because I've done so many random challenges towards myself. And that's where I build my confidence from. It's not because I'm like, yeah, but I'm so good looking. No, like who, what? What are you talking about? No, it's like it's real work behind this. Like I created this person I am today from like a ridiculous amount of work. That's why I am who I am today. Not because I'm like I look the way I look or fucking like it comes from work. And it comes from work in different areas of my life. And then I see, okay, so here we go, here's a new task. I need to learn like this, like I need to learn this new software, right? Okay, cool. I got to learn this new software that we adapted to a company in order to make our sales process easier and smoother. Oh, like yeah, but I'm so untechnical. Yeah, that's true. Like I'm not the sharpest knife in the box when it comes to like technology, but I wasn't the sharpest knife in the box when it came to learning how to dance neither. Like I'm not a natural talent in dancing at all, but I conquered that mission. Okay, cool. But if I conquered that mission, I can probably apply the same principles to this and I can come out on the other way pretty good. You know what I mean? Oof, here we go. Like I gotta learn another language. Yeah. But I also overcame depression. I know most people that went through what I went through would have killed themselves a long time ago. So if I can do that, I can probably fucking learn a new language. So even if they're not correlated, I can still use that as fuel. Why? Because I know my cookie jar, I know my highlights, I know what I've done. That's why it's so important to know your cookie jar. Yeah, very important. Oof. Oh, guys, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Let me know. I want you to unmute yourself. I want to hear two things. What did you love and what did you learn in today's webinar? Arnaud. What did you love about the webinar and what did you learn in the webinar? Arnaud, are you with us?
Yo, you listen me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah, I know all what you say, but for me it's always the same. It's hard to push myself and become active. It's the point to who is difficult. It's to start to be active. When
but
you start
it's
to be
probably,
active,
brother, because you're giving too big missions. It's like you gotta do baby steps. It's like do 5 jumping jacks, and then you do 15 jumping jacks the morning after, and then here we go. All of a sudden, you have worked yourself up to 20, and then when you're done 20, you probably broke a sweat already. So you're like, fuck it, I might as well do some push-ups, and then you create a momentum. Like I'm not saying that's the one and true answer to everything, but probably.
so yeah, the thing it's. I think I have some potential for a lot of things, but I always have the feet of the brake. Like I don't know, I'm maybe afraid of something, or maybe just afraid about myself.
Yeah, and when if you want to overcome that, my brother, you have to do the necessary work. And coming to this webinar is one of the parts, right? But then again, continue, because I know you for years now, and this has been something that's been part of your life for a long time. So at some point, it's like, yeah, but bro, we gotta fucking deal with this shit. No, you have to deal with it. You have to do the required work in order to get yourself out of here if it's a priority for you. But I think it is. What about you, Sahara? What did you like? What did you love about the webinar, and what did you learn today?
What I liked was you said your excuses are the reason you are where you are now. So just more of like self-reflection, and I mean, it could be good, could be positive, it could be good, you know, it could be I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and that's why I am where I am, but also
For sure.
what am I not doing that I'm not where I want to be, you know? So
Exactly.
that was, and that kind of falls in line with the other thing you said, do the necessary work so you deserve to be confident. And it just made me think about one of my last competitions. We were so close to making the final. So it was a big competition for the year. And literally we missed making the final. So six couple final, we missed it by 1 mark. By 1 mark. The couple above us got 1 more than us. And it was exciting because it was like, okay, yes, we're finally getting up there. We're like, we made it higher than a lot of other couples. We even beat some couples that normally are ahead of us. So like that was inspiring, but it was like, okay, we still don't deserve to be there because we're missing something clearly, you know? Yeah. So it was inspiring and eye-opening at the same time.
Exactly, and that's where you learn. It's like, I don't deserve to be a dollar millionaire, for example, right? Like, I don't deserve to be that. Why? Because I'm not acting like one. 2, I don't have the habits of one. And 3, I haven't done the necessary. Like, my income shows me that I'm not worthy. Like, I'm not making enough impact at the moment, and that is what it is. I gotta accept it, but then I can change it. I can own it. Right? And then I choose if that's something that's going to discourage me or if it's something that's actually going to fuel me. What about you, Raluca? What did you like and what did you learn?
So what I learned is to do a little steps every day in order to reach a confident level and not to just wait to be more confident. And what I liked was the reminder to not care about what people think that don't know you.
The most important. But, and again, this is what I asked you at the beginning, is like, but is this something that is actually, like, when you're feeling, it's like, oh, but like, what did this person think? But do you really care? Or is it just a thought that you heard? It's probably just a thought that you heard, and then your insecurities decided to grab onto it. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah. Fun story, true story. I met a girl at the club yesterday. And I thought that she was another one. I thought that she was one of the girls that I meet at the gym every day because she looked similar. But she didn't say hi to me. But she had colored her hair, I thought. So she had black hair. The girl that I know is blonde. But they looked so similar in the face. I'm like, shit, like, wait, did I do something? Like, why are people talking shit about me? Like, there's a rumor going on? Like, I started hearing those thoughts, but it's like, but yeah, okay, but I mean, so who gives a fuck if it is? Because it's not, because you need to be able to take a step back and like rationally look at life and like, well, what, like, is this something I actually care about? No, I don't, because I know I didn't do anything wrong. Then I go to the gym today and I see it, like the same girl I always see, she's still blonde. Well, there's another girl who's like, of course she didn't say hi to me, she fucking don't know me. But then all of those thoughts, they were there, but I didn't let them affect me because I know it's just random thoughts. Much like I can walk down the street and think negatively about the guy, and then he talks to me and he's super friendly and I'm super friendly to him. Thoughts doesn't define you, action does. Big difference, big fucking difference. You can think whatever you want or whatever your mind decides to think, but actions matter. Okay, familia? that's it for today. Some food for thoughts for everyone. All right. Hey, I'm gonna post something in our Facebook group, and I'm gonna tag you guys about today's webinar. And I would love if we could just create a little hype, because I think that our webinars are really, really powerful, and I want more people, more of our students to come and join them. All right, so it would be really appreciated if you could make some noise about it in our Facebook group. We really appreciate that. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Appreciate you all. Bye, dancers for dancers, as always. Ciao,
Wait.
ciao.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are you busy right now? Like, are
I'm
you
good.
like going into something?
Nah, you want to talk?
Yeah, because we didn't get